Well, we are back for the second episode of What If. No. We're back for episode 2 of Alternative History and Future of the World. Now, what happened in the first episode? It was an alternative World War One. A lot more countries got involved, and now in this episode, we will be um doing the peace treaty of World War One, and usually in my videos I cut out the peace treaties, but this will be one full episode of how I make peace treaties, and like, I mean, there's gonna be some stuff I cut out, but not that much. I need to get out something here, just so we got out. I should have done this before. Okay. So, the Treaty of World War One was originally signed in Versailles, which is somewhere in France. I actually don't know where it is. Now will be actually signed in Tehran. It's gonna be signed in Tehran. All of the allies around the world and Central Power leaders around the world will meet in Tehran to figure out this mess. Now, there's gonna be a couple different things that will happen. One, land will be given out and given to countries that won the war. And I will be going over who won World War One and who did not win and who lost. Because some countries in the Central Powers won, like Argentina, Chile, uh, Saudi Arabia, and Iran, and actually Germany is a winner of World War One, but also France is a winner. So it's kind of complicated, but I have a list of countries that actually. So, what countries lost World War One? Austria-Hungary lost heavily to the Italians. But like they're gonna be collapsing. Like Austria-Hungary won't exist. Just like in our time, they're gonna be gone. Russian Empire lost the war. Brazil lost the war. Bolivia lost the war. Mexico lost. Bulgaria lost. And Uruguay lost. Those are all the countries that lost the war. So most countries ended up winning the war. Most of the countries ended up winning, but there was a few losers. So how I'm gonna do the peace treaty is I'm going to go from west to east. So we will be starting with Mexico and ending with the Central Asian Republic. And yes, that's what they will be called. They're gonna be called the Central Asian Republic. So Mexico, time to do this. And also will be some lore that will be dropped in this episode too. So, but you'll know when that happens. So, really, I'm gonna give the Americans like a lot of Mexico's land. And they're gonna also get this. So, Mexico loses a lot of its northern coast and Yucatan. So I will have to delete this line. I might actually include this. Wrong tool. I gotta. Now, okay. So now to change the color back to normal. So Mexico is done. The USA gains land. It gains a lot of the northern provinces of Mexico and one of its provinces here. Now, Canada, I don't know why. Well, Canada's just going to be uncovered because Canada won't be getting any land. The United States will not be getting any more land. So everything up here is done. Everything in North America is done. It's just Mexico. I hope that didn't actually. No, okay. I don't know why this is happening. Why is it blue? You know what? We're gonna leave that. Is this gonna be blue as well? Yes, it is. That's weird. I'll just go. I'll fix that off camera. Down. Okay, down over here. Now, time to explain what was going on in South America. So, in 1915, I believe, like in this timeline, I could be wrong. 1915, 1916. I watched my own video, but I kind of forget now. Argentina and Chile did join the Central Powers as an economic bonus for them. Like I mean, they couldn't really ship to Germany because at the time it was only like it was like the North Atlantic was pretty locked down. Like they wouldn't be able to get ships in here. But what they were able to get ships down was a very long pass down here and into German East Africa, and that's the only reason why they survived. If Argentina didn't ship down way under here and into German East Africa, that allies would have captured it. They also shipped to Iran and actually I don't know if they really could. We'll just say that they did. They did like once or twice. Like maybe they docked here and then like went up. But they did, and um so but then Brazil joined in like 1916, I believe. Same as Bolivia. Now Bolivia's reasons to join was they have a claim over this land here, and they wanted it back. And for Brazil's reason, because they saw that Argentina they sent spies into Argentina, and they found out that Argentina was actually planning to invade them around 1917. So Argentina was planning an invasion of Brazil. And if that would have happened, the front lines would have looked really different because Brazil's army was not ready, and they had the only reason Brazil lost World War One is because they were not ready to fight a war. They had to. Their mobilization was horrible, and like this front line would have been like up to here if they didn't send that spy in. And I didn't mention anything about spies in World War One because I just didn't. But that's what they did. And they knew that Bolivia was gonna join because they actually were in contact with each other, saying like, "Hey, I'm gonna tackle these two, but I don't know if I'm just gonna go for it. So could you maybe join?" They're like, "Well, I guess we could, but I don't know." That's how they were initially, but then once they found out that Argentina was planning an invasion of Brazil, they're like, "Yeah, we have to. It's either we go after them now or we suffer." So what land will Chile and Argentina get for running down here? They will be getting. Well, really, it's not really much. We have Argentina is not going to be gaining any land here because they didn't really fight here. This is all Chile's work, but they do gain this strip of land right here, pushing Bolivia even further away from the Pacific Ocean. Now, over here, we have full annexation of Uruguay, and I'll go into why Argentina invaded them, and then in here we're gonna have a new state, I guess you could say, and this is going to be a puppet state for Argentina. Now, what this is gonna be called, I don't really know. I don't really have a name for this yet. I mean, if someone makes a comment on what to call it, I doubt that. I'll probably just think of a name. So, why did Argentina invade Uruguay? Well, it's because they knew Brazil's might that they would have had. Like, they would have known that Argentina knew that Brazil was stronger. So they were like, okay, I'm gonna flank them soon as the country, just like Germany did, and it worked, kind of. At the end of the war, it didn't work, but they did, and it worked out for them. So now it's time to go into Africa. So, German colonies will be lost from Germany. They'll be stripped away from the colonies, just like World War One. And we actually have the UK getting this. I don't know if I think the French got it in real life, and they're still gonna get this, but I don't know if they did or not. I'm unfamiliar with Africa during this time. So, um, really, this is exactly the same. It's taken over by France, but this I think is a bit different. Uh, this is gonna be exactly the same. Germany's gonna fight to lose to lose the colony because like you didn't take this land, so why should we give it to you? But they're like, well, it's either that or we're gonna make you lose even more land in Europe, and we'll get to what they lose in Europe in a minute. But they accept the loss, and the UK takes Germany East Africa. I think we're actually gonna be doing this. So there's not much really I need to explain about this. We have it's okay. In the video, there were rebels in Arabia to kick the British out. So they were funded by Iran, or I guess Persia in this timeline. They were funded by them, and they worked. Now there's a lot of There's a lot of funded rebellions in this version of World War One, and that was kind of my goal on when I was making the video. But anyway, we have Ottomans losing land. Now the Ottoman Empire will exist, but in a lesser state. Because they still like this land gone. It's now Arabian territory. They still have control. They still border Egypt, but so that's a plus. They can do trade with the UK and stuff. But that's really the only pro. And actually, we did have this getting invaded in the video. I just never remember to actually call it. But this did get invaded. So Arabia now is one solid country. That was their goal. They only joined the Central Powers to achieve that goal, and to join the Allies, they couldn't obviously do that. With Iran, it's a little bit different. They joined because they wanted to kick the Russians out, and they did. The Russians now have a border up to here. We'll get to that in a few minutes. I think actually we're gonna finish this video with Eastern Europe. I think that's a better place. But we'll do Western Europe and in this mess. So we have these guys being liberated. So they're gone. France is in the Atlantic, so we're gonna uncolor them. In terms of the UK, though, we can completely uncolor them. They're not gaining any land, so I gotta go and uncolor all the colonies. Right now. Okay, wait, hold on. There. Okay. Um, I still need to do over here. Don't worry, it's not gonna take long. Just a couple clicks. Oh, yeah, I kind of forgot about this. Australia's gonna annex this land. Now, at this point, Australia does own Papua New Guinea. That might change soon with the Great Depression, and I'll get into what I want to do with the Great Depression soon. Because the Great Depression will be important until World War II, which is probably episode 5. I think I'm gonna make it episode 5. So, what happens over here? Well, Germany is gonna lose some of its western land, but not too much. We just have this. Alsace-Lorraine is now French, just like in the timeline. Okay, so that's it. I think it's a little bit more, but I don't really care. Yeah, it's a bit more. Uh, these have no participation in the land gaining, so they're pointless. Okay, so after that, time for the dismantling of Austria-Hungary. Oh God, I hate doing this. Like this, but we'll get all this land. I think I should just give this land too. This I am gonna cut out. So editing myself here, cut this out. And I'll explain after. Okay, what will Italy get? A lot of land. Italy getting so much. Italy will be getting so much land. First of all, a lot more territory up here. And a border that goes all the way down to there. So we'll get into Serbia's land in a second. So Italy's done. Montenegro will be gaining land. And Serbia will be gaining a lot of land as well. Czechia will get independence. I'll get to this stuff in a second. Austria will be getting independence. And this abomination will be Hungary. What's more like a fucking fish? Okay. So I just dismantled Austria-Hungary, and let's go. I'm gonna go for what happened. Italy, because Italy did so much more in this timeline. Like Italy's the reason Austria-Hungary fell. They will gain a lot of land for the Mediterranean, and this was their goal. Italy now has a stronger so. In this time, Italy has a stronger military and is actually a top 10 power in the world. Italy is the top 10 power in the world at this point because of World War One. We have Austria getting independence, Czechia getting independence. Galicia gets independence, something that didn't happen in our timeline. Montenegro survives, doesn't get absorbed by Serbia, but this little blob here is Montenegro. Now, the border is like this. I go for my magnifying glasses, but now they gain this. And Serbia is also going to be gaining a lot of land. And this blob in the middle of Europe is Hungary. Now, I was never good at drawing Hungary, so this will be what Hungary looks like. It looks more like a fish, but hey, doesn't matter. Now let's go over the. What is this? Yeah, it's like half an hour. Let's go over here. So we now have. Oh, well, I forgot about Bulgaria. So Bulgaria in this peace treaty will be humiliated, just like the Germans in World War One, and they will be publicly humiliated in the conference room. Now, why will they do that? Is because Greece and the Ottomans do not like them, and they will get a lot of land be taken off of them. So it's tough for Greece. They will take all of this. But also, something happens with this thing. In the conference room, that white dot definitely does not appear. In the conference room, we have a problem. Ottoman Empire wants this land. Some of it. They want specifically, like, a little bit up to here to extend Thrice. But Greece kind of snaps and be like, yo, I claimed this land. You didn't claim this land before. You claimed this land up here. So how about you just go after that claimed land? So this kind of sparks some tensions between the two countries. What a shocker. Greece and Turkey can't get along. What a shocker. But anyway, we have Ottoman Empire taking all the land up to here. So Bulgaria, actually, you know what? I'm gonna do this too. Serbia will also gain Austro, Austro. They'll also gain Hungarian lands. No, why don't I just continue this? Because I'm already setting the stage up for Bulgaria to be mad. So we also have Romania gaining more land off of them. Romania gains land off of Bulgaria. So, how does this leave the Bulgarian president? Oh, he's mad because this is seen as this is seen as disobeying treaty laws that don't actually exist. Like they're just using that as a coping method. But this is now Bulgaria. They were petitioned, and they weren't actually made into a. They weren't made into a puppet state of any of them. If the only one that would be Serbia, but there's growing hatred in Bulgaria towards all of their neighbors, mostly Greece and Ottoman Empire. But there is one person in Bulgaria that will not let this. He will hold a grudge, and I'm not going to say much on him yet, but he's going to be important. So, we're going to go down to Iraq, and realistically, they can't take much. They'll take a little. They'll take this, but they cannot take much land. They're gonna try and get more, but they're like, hey, whatever we can get. We don't really hold a grudge against the Ottomans, but they were on the Allies, so we kind of had to fight against them. And actually, at the end of this war, the two powers here start to try to increase relations. Kind of seems ridiculous when you think about it, because Ottomans are taking Iraqi land that they owned, but this is actually kind of like good for them because this is getting really like aggressive from the Ottomans. So they're like, hey, I mean, like we're cool with this. We were gonna like assimilate it more, but that would cost money, and right now we need to preserve money. Nothing's gonna happen in Caucasus, so we can just get rid of this. And now we have the Central Asian Republic rise up, and it is now a country. This country will demand a lot of land that they shouldn't get. They will demand it in the peace treaty, and the Allies will give it to them. Well, the Central Powers will give it, not the Allies. The Allies try to fight against it. But the land was all the way to there. This land, they demanded this land, and they're like, we will go out of this conference room and invade the rest of Russia, because Russia at now cannot deal with any more wars. Like they are bankrupt. Like, they literally have worse debt that they had than real life in this timeline. But so Russia, unhappy with the situation, will let this. Well, they're gonna have to let this slide, and we can now uncolor all the countries besides here, Eastern Europe. Russia's humiliation is not done. So let's. So stage 1 of Germany's plan: give Poland independence, but as a German puppet state. Poland gets independence, and Germany will actually relinquish some of its land with Polish amnesties to appease the people of these lands. So Germany's gonna lose some land, but it's in their control. They are choosing to lose this land. And so now what? We have the Grand Duchy of Baltic states all being merged into one country. That's even more land that the Russians lose. We have a smaller state, kind of like Belarus here. It's not Belarus, but it's attempting to be Belarus. It's not gonna be long. It's, to be honest, it's not gonna be long for long. So I mean, it's here. But now we have the biggest amount of land being given out, and Russia will be forced to relinquish even more land that they shouldn't have to. And that is all of Ukraine. Well, not all of Ukraine, but a lot of Ukraine. Ukraine in this timeline gets a little sliver of land here. And now we can actually color back in. The UK or France. We'll just cover. We'll just do this. Now, this is not them declaring war. This is them trying to stop Germany from making Russia give so much land, but it's also not land, it's money. Germany will implement loans on Russian money, and they have to pay a good sum of money. More than the Germans have to pay in real life. That's how bad. I mean, they're not gonna do anything. But Russians will have to pay up towards 600 million Russian rubles in this timeline. They don't got that money, but they are being forced to pay it. Germany's will get. I'm now going to uncolor all the countries besides Russia. And why? Well, there's a man down in Caucasian Russia, and he is furious. He is furious about the Central Powers, but also the Allies. He is furious about both of them for two different reasons. He's pissed about Iran for making all this land independent. He is mad at Germany for the exact same reason, but more because of the money Russia now owes to Germany. Now, why is he mad at the Allies? Well, it's because they didn't help him. In World War One, the Allies did not help Russia at all. Now, obviously, there's bigger reasons why they couldn't, because they were fighting Germany, and they were across the continent. But he doesn't see those as legitimate reasons. Like, we had all of the Mediterranean under our control. Like, all of it. There were no Mediterranean powers on the side of Germany. Italy was on the side of the Allies. Greece was on the side of the Allies. Why didn't they help? And the reason for that is really the Allies don't even know. The Allies don't know why they didn't help them, and it's gonna come back to bite them. And I see a gap here that I need to color in before I make the third part. So, this Caucasian man in Russia is going to become a hot topic for the next few episodes. I'm not going to say what he plans, but he is planning a lot of stuff with Europe. He is going to go crazy. And now I'm going to not color Russia black. That's definitely not what I'm going to color them. I need to fix what I just did. Okay, there we go. So now, this video will end with two very mad people in two countries. One in Bulgaria and one in Russia. And around the world, they're starting to have elections. So that will be the thing for next week. I'm currently recording this on Friday. I do have to edit this video before Saturday hits, as it's gonna be posted Saturday. But the world will now go into a Great Depression, unlike the world has ever seen, especially in our timeline. This Great Depression will be very costly for the entire world. Mainly for a few countries: Russia, Bulgaria, Mexico, partly Brazil, and India. In China. Well, you can say India too. It does affect them a lot. So, this will be expanded upon in the next video. But in terms of now, this is now the world. This is what the world looks like. A lot has changed. Europe is more divided than ever. So, I mean, that's it. In summary, the summary of this video is peace treaty went well until this and this, until Bulgaria and Russia happened, and Bulgaria will have an extremely tough. Russia's gonna have a harder time than Bulgaria because of the size between the two. But that's gonna be it for the video.